Hi guys, this is Rahul here, and I'm from myview.rahulnavy.net. That's my blog. So you guys have been following me on my articles, which I have been posting on my blog itself. But those are literally static articles which I have been putting on. Now this is going to be my first video implementation, which I am going to use it. So this time I'm going to present to you ASP.NET Web API implementation right from the beginning, or you can assume that right from the blank slate. No, the fact is, here I have jotted down few points which I'm going to walk you through. So the very first thing which I'm going to take you is like, of course, why Web API is needed, why we are going to use that in a new project or in an existing project which you already been using. What are the advantages for that? Like, why do you need that exactly? Then I'll be going through and simply jumping on creating a new project via Visual Studio 2013, and there I will be selecting Web API template from that project folder. And once that is being created, then I will walk you through all the infrastructure items which is being provided by the Visual Studio. I mean, what are the default folders or what are the default settings which is given by Visual Studio. Once we understood the facts, like okay, these are the things in place for us. So then we'll simply go ahead and jump in writing our first API controller, and then we'll debug through the same, okay, how it is getting invoked and how it is working out. And then once we are done, then in the next step we are trying to do it some serialization fact, like by default actually API is actually going to work out JSON way, but you can also format it XML way as well, but I like quite the things using the same as a JSON way. So you can go through the rules, like how to set up those rules for that. DI is again one of the basic advantage of using that API. Like you need to implement DI for different sort of constructor injections, I would say. So I would be using here mine inject, one of my favorites for using that DI injection. So once DI is implemented, right, now it's time to simplify your models. Like so, what I'll be doing is I'll be writing a simple plain class, right? Let's say a movie class, because uh, these are the models which I have been using quite a few times on different projects, different implementation. Like movie review, I have used in hands-on ASP.NET MVC project. So the same class I will be using here, but this time I will be using with an API controller. That time I have used with an MVC controller. Again, once we have done with our model classes, then what we do is like we'll jump on the routing rules for that API controller. So I think in the pretty, these are the few facts which I'm going to cover in the first module. Once first module is done, that means we are okay with the basics. Then we can go ahead and do some delve delve some more coding stuffs while doing that API implementation. So stay tuned and happy coding.